We did well, dear, but the work isn't finished yet. I could use a hand if you're still so inclined. While I return to High Isle and make final preparations for the peace talks to commence, I'd like you to help Druid Laurel with one more thing. When you're finished, meet me at Mandrake Manor. I'll let her give you the details. I will say this, though. You've certainly made an impression on the Stone Lord Druid's there. Druid Laurel will tell you what she needs. Just don't dawdle. Finish things here, then meet me on High Isle. We've had the Alliance leaders waiting quite long enough, and I have to make some arrangements with the Society of the Steadfast. Despite Lord Bacaro's betrayal, the Society has done good work here in the Sisters and back in Tamriel. I'd hate to lose that, but you're quite correct. I need to determine if the Society is trustworthy. I'll start by meeting with Captain Marguerite. The Society attracted many good people who have done a lot of good work. I won't see that die with Bacaro. I want the organization to continue if at all possible.
Galen and the entire archipelago owe you a debt, my friend. You have my thanks.
The Druids will never forget what you and Free did to save us.
I bide my time until I find the far shores.
Lady Arabelle said she could spare you, and I appreciate the help. Before Free was taken by Lord Bacaro, they gave me something. Told me what to do with it if they didn't return. I thought Free was just being cautious, but I think they knew. That they weren't coming back. Free gave me a pouch of soil. They said it was special. That they prepared it as part of their purpose. You remember how Free would go on and on about that. Anyway, they asked me to do something after they were gone. They asked me to go to the Overlook north of Glimmertarn, to sprinkle the soil from the pouch there. I made a promise, and I'd like you to fulfill it with me. I think Free would want you to be a part of this. Will you help me, friend? Here, take the pouch of soil. There's a beautiful tree by the Overlook, tall and majestic. I think that's the perfect place to honor Free's wishes. I'll meet you there. Free said they spent a long time preparing it, that it was a part of them, a part of Galen, a part of the Druids. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. It wasn't always easy to understand Free and the ways of a nature spirit. Free enjoyed sitting under it. I think they felt a connection to it, but I'm not really sure. The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we know. They said to sprinkle the soil, and I think that's the perfect place to do it. That's the tree. Free was quite fond of it. Go ahead and sprinkle the soil around its base. I thought for sure something would happen, but this is wonderful. Friend, let me tell you what Free has done. Did you see what happened, friend? What Free asked us to do with that pouch of soil? It's a miracle. Of course. After everything you've done for us, I still forget sometimes that you're not a druid. Free had a special connection to the sacred seeds. They used their power as a nature spirit, as the sower, to put some of that magic into the soil. It means that the sacred seeds aren't gone, that the Druid King's regalia will return, someday. Until that time, we'll need to protect this tree, nurture it. I'll make sure that all the circles know. We'll find a way to do it together. Trust has to start somewhere, but we still need to gather the elders and form a new Drafa. After that, I'll broach the subject. In the meantime, I'll commune with the tree, with the growing seeds, and I'll be here when they finally blossom. I think that's everything, my friend. Thanks again for helping me honor Free's request. I hope they find peace and happiness inside the volcano. Anyway, I think you should head back to High Isle now. I know Lady Arabelle is eager to begin the talks. Free made their decision. Without their sacrifice, none of us would have survived the volcano's eruption. I'll find time to go to Mount Firesong, to commune with the new spirit of the volcano. Sometimes bound spirits respond. Sometimes they don't. Oh, Free will commune with me if they're able, but every spirit binding is different. Some can communicate freely, others can only share impressions. And then there are the ones that more or less slumber, as Free did before they were awakened.
I assure you, Lady Arabelle, I'm more committed than ever to the Society of the Steadfast's mission of peace.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Captain. Ah, good, you're back. Captain Marguerite and I were just having the most illuminating discussion, dear. Other than some misdirection at the end, Lord Bacaro never allowed his clandestine activities with the Ascendant Order to spill over into the Society of the Steadfast. Yes, dear, I am. Captain Marguerite's reputation is impeccable, and I've begun to study their ledgers. Nothing is amiss. I'll get someone I trust to perform a thorough investigation, but the Society has done too much good to shut it down now. Just about. Preparations are underway at All Flags Islet, but I have a task for you. I'd like you to invite Count Stefan, Druid Laurel, and Druid Ravana for the talks. They deserve to have a voice in the proceedings. Captain Za'ji and Casca, too. I think Za'ji and Casca should get to see the negotiations unfold, but to have them participate, oh goodness no, dear. So, invite Stefan, Laurel, and the rest, and remind Stefan I'm depending on House Mornard for added security. Count Stefan will be at Castle Mornard, and Druid Laurel should be in the Vines District in Bastille. Za'ji's likely at the docks here in Gonfalon Bay, and Druid Ravana is at her workshop here on High Isle, just west of the city. We've been trying to get the leaders of all three alliances to the table since this whole affair began. It's been sponsored by the Society of the Steadfast. There are no guarantees, but this is our best chance to end the Three Banners War. I won't keep that a secret from High King Emmerich and the others, but I will urge them to see the talks through, despite their less than honorable beginnings. This is a real chance for lasting peace, and I damn well plan to make that happen.
Make sure the Pounce is ready to sail the moment Queen Irene calls for us.
The bounce is ready. I could use some quiet time for a change.
Maybe you spoke too soon, Casca. Look who it is. Always a pleasure, Five Claw, but you also tend to bring trouble to Za'ji, and more work. So what is it this time? A Periite cult? Vampire armies from deep underground, what? Za'ji and Casca are invited? Well, as expected, of course. After all Za'ji has done, it is only natural to want him there to observe, and to keep the Queen and the others safe. But Casca too, really? Well, if Lady Arabelle insists. Za'ji and Casca will leave for the islet at once, and will bring along a few of the Pounce's crew. A little extra muscle never hurts, yes? There is always a chance, Five Claw. It may be very, very small. So small that you cannot see it with the naked eye, but it is there nonetheless. This one does hope it works out, though. War is a terrible business indeed.
Friend, what a pleasant surprise. What brings you back here so soon, friend? Not another danger to the archipelago, I hope. I'm neither an elder nor an archdruid. Shouldn't Lady Arabelle invite one of them? Most of the surviving senior members of the Circle are deep in discussions about the Dreyfa. Very well. Tell her I'll attend the talks. I'm pleased that Lady Arabelle thought to include the Druids of the Archipelago in the peace talks. As you have seen, events on the mainland reach even to our distant shores. Still, I wish we had Archdruids or Elders available for the task. Perhaps one day, but I'm much too young to be called an Elder. Don't you agree? As for Archdruid, one doesn't just receive that accolade. Only Druids of immense presence and power ever achieve such a rank. Will I someday? We shall see.
Blight it all. We have to find a way for the circles to work together.
The Elder Tide are willing, but we have yet to choose new leaders, and we still distrust the Firesong.
The Firesong are aware of our mistakes. We don't expect forgiveness, but we want a chance to make amends. I promise our next leader will have less aggressive aspirations.
Blight and damnation. Trying to get the Druid circles to agree on anything is like trying to herd fawns. But you're not here to deal with my problems. Not this time. What can I do for you, my friend? Really? After you just saw my negotiating skills in action? Wait, you're serious? Well, why not? I definitely want what's best for my people. And maybe I can learn something watching the Alliance leaders. I'll be happy to attend. And just between us, the talks with the Druid circles aren't going too badly. I just lose patience sometimes. I want everything to happen right now. But flowers blossom when they're ready, am I right? What? Did Stefan say something? What are you asking? Count Stefan and I are getting along fine. Never better. And I'd rather not talk about this at the moment, if that's all the same to you.
Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to Castle Mornard. Lady Arabelle told me to trust Captain Marguerite, and so far so good. The Society of the Steadfast restarted their relief efforts, and things have been moving smoothly ever since. But what brings you back to Galen, friend? Does she now? And what role would a minor count play in discussions concerning the greater fate of all of Tamriel? No, forgive me, friend. It's just been a lot lately. Of course I'll attend. Is there anything Lady Arabelle needs of me? Ah, yes. After all this trouble, such a request isn't all that surprising. Very well. Tell Lady Arabelle Count Stefan shall attend the peace talks with a contingent of his finest knights at his side. Will that do? How my father ever accomplished anything with the constant parade of supplicants and requests, I'll never understand. Or Archdruid Revolve, for that matter. Now I know what it's like when everyone is constantly vying for a moment of your attention. No, it's not all that bad. Stressful, yes, but rewarding in its own way. You know, I really do like making decisions that help people. And I've even gotten the nobles and druids to sit down together. Once. Maybe my plans will work out after all.
Over here, dear. Time to get this conference started. I see everyone has arrived. Well done, dear. And I did my part as well. The Alliance leaders are already downstairs. Oh, just the usual hemming and hawing. I just applied my natural charisma and threatened them with bodily harm. The leaders do want a word with you, though, if you're willing to indulge them.
Lord Bacaro a villain. Rogue knights collaborating with druids. And what was that about sea elves? This visit to the archipelago has been one surprise after another. I owe you a lot, friend. You saved my life, and you saved my realm. I've ignored the druids of the archipelago for too long. The few I've met over the years seem, well, quaint, eccentric. I thought their insistence on clinging to the ancient ways was harmless. But I forgot about the dark roots of their tradition. The weirds of High Rock distanced themselves from politics, but the druids of old were a different breed. They used fearsome magic to rule over the early Bretons, either directly or from behind the scenes, and they jealously guarded their power. Why in oblivion not? I've been here this long, what's another few days? If the Breton legacy has a dark side, it also shows courage and commitment. If Irene and Ernskar are willing to talk, so am I. But I wonder if Lord Bacaro had the right idea. Oh, not about the whole Ascendant Lord and murder thing, but about finding someone other than one of us to sit on the throne. I can't imagine Irene or Yoren agreeing to bow down to me willingly, and I feel the same way. We'll just have to see.
There you are, and the hero of the day again. I knew we weren't done with the Ascendant Order after the assault on All Flags Islet, but I never imagined it was Lord Bacaro who betrayed us. That's what my father would expect, but I don't feel that I'm quite done here yet. Nothing in my instructions covers what's happened so far, and Lord Bacaro's treachery calls into question the very sanctity of these peace talks. I wouldn't say that. I came here to do a job, and I think it can still be done. I plan to send word to the Skull King, tell him I'm staying, at least as long as Emmerich and Irene agree. Lord Bacaro may have deceived us, but peace is still possible. He won't be happy about the way Lord Bacaro manipulated him. But when I explain what happened here, and what you did, friend, he'll support my decision. He really is an excellent king, my father. But don't tell him I said that.
I like to think I'm not easily fooled. But not in 1,000 years would I have guessed that Lord Bacaro was the secret leader of the Ascendant Order. No one argued more eloquently for a lasting peace than he did. The revelation that these talks were merely part of the Ascendant Lord's plan to seize power makes it difficult. But as far as we can tell, the Society of the Steadfast Intentions are pure. And I think Lord Bacaro might have outsmarted himself. Bacaro wanted to prove his worth. Show us that by blood and circumstance, he was the best suited to take power. Instead, through his actions as the Ascendant Lord, Emmerich, Ernskar, and I learned that we could actually work together. I think so, yes. I've come to believe that Emmerich and Ernskar want peace as badly as I do, and I'm willing to see where these discussions lead. We may not come to any conclusions, but isn't the possibility worth the effort? I think it is.
Your attention, please. Lady Arabelle requests that everyone join her in the reception hall. Friend, may we speak? Finally, we get a moment to ourselves. I did want to speak with you before Lady Arabelle gets on with the important business. I wanted... Damn, this went better in my head. I've never been as good at speaking my mind as my father was, or Archdruid Raval. Now, he was an orator. Sorry, I'm babbling. Let me start over. Thank you for everything, my friend. Now, don't start with that sort of nonsense. Of course I need to thank you. You saved us all. What kind of count would I be? What sort of friend? If I didn't let you know how much what you've done for us means to me. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. I know how eager Lady Arabelle is to get the peace talks underway. We'll talk later. Now go speak to Lady Arabelle and let her know everything is ready for her to begin.
Have I mentioned how much I detest public speaking? Goes against all my training as a spy and agent of the king. I'm supposed to hear all the important bits of dialogue, not recite them. Ah, well, before all that, I want to share something with you. Yes, I do. As we conclude this business with Lord Bacaro and the Ascendant Order, I want you to know how much your help has meant to me. Take this as payments for services above and beyond the call of duty. Now, I have a speech to deliver, my dear. We stand here today because of Lord Bacaro, what he brought together through the Society of the Steadfast, and what he tried to bring about as the Ascendant Lord. Instead of dividing us, instead of defeating and conquering us, he showed us what's possible when we work side by side. And through the courage and sacrifice of many of the people gathered here, as well as the nature spirit free, we persevered and won the day. Now to our royal guests, I say, let's recognize our friend, and then start the talks.
Our friend has performed above the call of duty. I name them Champion of the Covenant.
Not so fast, Emmerich. I name them Champion of the Dominion.
Then I name them Champion of the Pact.
Your Majesties, please. All of that would never fit on the medal. Let's just agree on Champion of the Alliances, shall we?
Oh, very well.
I can live with that.
If you insist.